say this might be the most exciting Monday morning I have had in a really long time. What just happened? Did a helicopter land in Meadowbrook Field? At Eldridge Park School? I wonder why. This is a New Jersey State helicopter medevac, and Logan Corticans, who is in Mrs. Walker's class, his dad, who's over here, Mr. Corticans, he helped to arrange this. So when the flight staff comes off of the helicopter, we need to give them a huge cheer and round of applause for doing this for us today. Can you do that? All right. I think they're coming. Right? Let's do a huge round of applause. We go ahead. Woo! And look, she has something with her. I wonder what she is giving to Mrs. Robbins. Oh, here comes the rest of the flight crew. Let's give them a round of applause, too. Mrs. Robbins, I'm going to give her the microphone. We're going to check out what's here.
It says, "Dear EPS Kids of Character, our mission today is to deliver your new school theme banner." How exciting is that? We hope that you have all the pieces to solve the puzzle and reveal your new theme. Did every class bring your puzzle piece? And it says, "Good luck, and remember, at EPS, every person shines." How exciting. What do you say?
Thank you. And I'm looking behind me, and it looks like the rest of the flight crew is here. So while they're all standing here, let's give them a huge wave, a cheer, and a round of applause. Thank you so much for being here today and for delivering this. We can't wait to meet you more in a few minutes. If that helicopter landed so that they could deliver this banner and we could know what our school theme is for this year, that's pretty impressive. I think it's kind of almost impossible, but we'll see. Let's find out what our theme is. So I know there's a class here that has clue number 1. The numbers are on the back of your puzzle piece. I believe that the class that has clue number 1 is Miss Adams' class. I heard some good ideas last week. People who thought they knew the theme. Let's see. Oh, I heard somebody say it looks like fire. Clue number 2, Mrs. Irvin's class. Woo! And clue number 3, I think Mrs. Kowalski's class? Mrs. Clancy's class. I believe you have clue number 4. Bring it on up. I hear lots of good guesses out there. Mrs. Turkowski's class, clue number 5. And from Mrs. Irene's class, I think you have number 6. I see blue and gold. Do you see blue and gold? Number 7, Mrs. Walker's class. Watch out for this. But there's no words there yet. So you think our theme is rocket ship? Is that what you think? No. Clue number 8, Mrs. Fricker's class. Do you guys want to come on over? You're busy? All right. Yeah, of course. You can check out our puzzle. All right, clue number 9, Mr. Duncan's class. Oh, thank you. Are you kidding? Here we go. From, I think we have Mrs. Prettyman's class who has clue number 10. Oh wait, so it is a rocket ship, right? Raise your hand if you knew that. Come on over here, Mrs. Prettyman's class, real quick. Can you tell me what word you had?
Today.
Today. Let's all say it together. Today. All right. Clue number 11, Miss Bright's class. Connor, come over to me when you're done. Connor. Can you tell me what that says? Today's the. Let me hear it. Okay. Today's the what? Today's the what? Mrs. Barrett's class. Watch the wires. Okay, let's listen up. Sean's going to read us the next word.
Day.
Day. Today's the day. Let's hear it. All right. Who's next? Mrs. Keffer's class has number 13.
Guys, watch the wire.
Liliana, come on over. Boys and girls, look at my shirt. What does it say? Today's the day. Liliana, what did your word say?
Everything.
Everything. Let me hear it. Mrs. Kelly's class.
Oh,
Neil, come here. Nice and loud. Is. Everything is. Let me hear it. Everything is what? Find out. Okay, our final puzzle piece. Final puzzle piece. Mrs. Jarvis's class. Here they come. What did you say? Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome. Come on over, Lil. What word?
Possible.
Possible. Today's the day. Everything is possible. It's possible to land a helicopter back of my shirt, you're going to see in a moment, it says, everything, look at Mrs. Barrett, she has hers on, is possible. Look at Mrs. Robbins. Today's the day. So we're going to start today. Falcon, please. You can go. We're going to start today by learning a little bit about this helicopter. And we're going to talk to some of the flight crew. They're going to introduce themselves, tell us a little bit about the aircraft, and 2 classes at a time, we're going to get to go over and check it out. So boys and girls, can you show them you're ready? Show them you're ready. And I think that I'm going to introduce the flight nurse first. Is that correct? Okay. McDonald, is that right? Marie O'Donnell. Okay, can you give her a big wave and a round of applause? So we have Marie O'Donnell, and she is the flight nurse. We have Les Titus, right over here. Sergeant Benko of the New Jersey State Police. And Sergeant Villa of the New Jersey State Police. She's here today. Oh, from Kearney. Boys and girls, can I have Mrs. Robbins, if you want to just take 2 classes at a time, and we're going to go 2 classes at a time over to look at the helicopter. Mrs. Robbins will lead those 2 classes, and while that's happening, Ms. O'Donnell is going to talk to the rest of us.
Back up just a little bit.
And maybe you have some questions.
Back up just a little bit.
So think of some questions you might have that you'd like to have answered.
Good morning. So if anybody has any questions for me about what we do or anything about the aircraft, I can answer some of them. If it has anything to do with flying, I only have a couple of answers you could ask the sergeants when you go over to see the aircraft, okay? North Bay. What do we do? So we're a medevac helicopter, and we do a lot of different missions, but the main thing that we do is take care of people who are hurt or sick in and around this state, and sometimes we go out of the state. Because we have a helicopter, we can get the people who are hurt and need to get to the hospital very quickly, because sometimes if you put them in an ambulance, it could take a very long time to get to the hospital. So we can get them there very quickly. Most times it takes us about 5 or 6 minutes to get to a hospital by air, where it might take over half an hour in the back of an ambulance. Because we have 2 state troopers as our pilots, we also do Homeland Security. So we check out the waterways and the ports and the train stations, the meadowlands and different state facilities to make sure that they're safe. If people are missing, if they get lost while they're hiking or camping, we help to find them. And sometimes when bad guys get away or they're running from the police, we help catch them because we go overhead and we could kind of get them into an area where the police on the ground could get to them. So that may have answered a lot of questions that you might have. Anybody have a different question? Say that again? I've been working in the medical field for 17 years, but I'm only flying here for 3. One more on this side, yes?
How fast can it go?
It goes about 160 miles per hour, but the 2 pilots can give you a better idea as far as knots versus miles per hour. How long can we fly? Depending on where we're going and depending upon how many people are in there and how much weight we have and the wind, we could fly for a couple of hours. I'll get yours. He wants to know how, when people are running from the police, how you catch them. Sometimes if they're on the highway, we fly over their car on the highway, and most of the times they get nervous and they pull over. They don't like to be chased by a helicopter. Sometimes they're bank robbers, sometimes they escaped from prison, sometimes they stole a car. I have the same last name as you? Are we related? I don't know. You forgot? Okay, we'll come back. What do we do in the winter? Oh, when nobody's hurt? Oh, well, we train. Sometimes we have new pilots and they need to train, and we train ourselves. If we're not working on patients, we always have things that we can do to keep our skills up to date. So we study and we train. Where do we go? We cover the state of New Jersey. We cover mostly the northern part. There's another helicopter just like this that covers the southern part of the state. Okay, how much fuel? So this helicopter uses jet fuel, and it depends on the weight of the crew. So every day they have to know how much we weigh, which is not always good. So it depends on how much we're flying. We usually get 50 to 100 gallons each time, sometimes more. Sometimes people are very sick, and we do our best to help them. So most of the times we're able to help them, and they get better on the way. And then we bring them to the hospital, and they get even better, most of the time. Sometimes people are hurt very badly, but we take very good care of them, and we always do our best to make sure that they make it to the hospital. Who are the pilots? So Sergeant Banco and Sergeant Bill, you'll see them, they have guns. Those are the pilots. He wants to know if we have loaded nukes. No, the only weapons are the guns on the state troopers. That's it. How long did it take us to get here? It took us 10 minutes to get here. We came from Somerset County, which is north of here. So it only took about 10 minutes to get. If we had to drive, it would have taken over an hour, especially with rush hour traffic. Yes? No, we never have to jump out, fortunately. We have two engines, so if something went wrong with one of them, we have another engine, and they check them all the time to make sure they're both working 100%. So thank God we never had to jump out. Why do the pilots have guns? Because they're state troopers. So the two people in the back are medical staff, so we take care of the sick and injured people. And our two pilots are state troopers. Did you ever drive on the road and see a state police car where it says state police? Well, they used to do that. They used to work on the road as troopers, and then they got their pilot's license, and now they fly the aircraft, just like the medical staff. We used to work on the ground as paramedics. My partner and I both worked as paramedics. I also worked as a nurse in a hospital. And then once you get experience, you apply to fly. So all of us here worked on the ground at one point in time, and then we applied for this job. Yes?
When you're the engineers make one engine working and what the other engine is working.
He said, what happens if both engines fail? I guess anything is possible. That's the theme of the day. Anything is possible. However, our aircraft are inspected almost every day. So we have mechanics that work for the state police, and they check our helicopters every single day to make sure that they're working properly. And our pilots test each engine all the time. So we try not to think about that. Yes? A certain age to be able to work there? Well, there's not really a certain age. It depends upon experience, but you wouldn't have the experience to work on something like this while, say, you were in your 20s, because you wouldn't have had enough time. So everybody who works here is over 30. And I'm going to stop at that. Yes. Underneath, that ball underneath the nose, that's a camera. That's an infrared camera. Did you get a chance to go up there yet? When you go up there, you can ask the crew about it. That when I said that we do searches for people, we can see people with that camera. And because it's an infrared camera, it picks up body heat. So if we can't see people, sometimes it picks up their image. And we're able to see people. If they're in the woods and maybe the trees are too thick, it'll pick up their image. So yeah, they'll be more than happy to talk to you about that. It makes an image on the screen inside the aircraft.
So if you guys are ever running late for school, just give them a call.
That's right.
They'll pick you up and make sure you get on time. So you can drop you off right here.
What do you think they use that for?
This is straight out of Top Gun.
What do you think that's used for?
Any question, guys? Just let me know.
Do you have any questions?
Good.
You really do that?
I'm sorry?
Would you really pick us
No.
up? I don't think he's allowed to do that.
I think that would generate a phone call.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How you doing?
Those are two. One bag has what they need. When we land at a scene, they take that bag and that monitor to the patient. So there's everything they need in that bag and the monitor to get them back over to the helicopter. Go ahead. I'm sorry? That's just another backup to, we have two of everything in the aircraft in case something fails. Go ahead. A jetpack? No. We do have two jet engines. They're on each side. See where that big muffler's coming out? There's a jet engine behind that cowling. So there's two of them.
Attacked? No, we're not Army, so we don't attack. We help people. Our main mission is to help people. The hospital. We go to the gas station at the airport, just like you do in a car. We pull up right in front of a gas pump, and somebody comes out and fills up. You can see on the side, well, the door's covered right now. There's a, like on a car, there's a gas tank, and they just put the hose in there and fill us up. We stay at an airport. That's where we stay. And so there's lots of little planes there and our helicopter. How old is the helicopter? It's 4 years old. It's new. You wanted to know what Homeland Security is? So that's when we go up and down the East River and also the Hudson River. We check the bridges, the tunnels, reservoirs, and train stations, airports, things like that to make sure that they're safe and that nobody's trying to do anything bad to our property. How high? It can go about 10,000 feet, but we usually don't go past 3,000. We don't need to go that high because the higher we go up, the longer it takes to come down. So when we're looking to do a medevac to help somebody, if we go up too high, it'll take too long to come down. So we try to stay a lot lower. We can get there quicker that way. We usually fly at about 2,000 or 3,000 feet. The state has 5 helicopters just like that. No, there's no jail in the helicopter. It's big, but not that big. But we do have prisoners back there sometimes, because sometimes bad guys get hurt, and we have to take care of them. So when that happens, we take a police officer with us. So we have another seat in there. We'll take a police officer with us, and we'll have the bad guy on the stretcher, and we take care of them. They're handcuffed. If you need to go to the bathroom, you gotta wait. You know how when you go someplace, your parents or your family will say, make sure you go before you leave. Well, we have to do the same thing. We can't pull over in a gas station or someplace. You gotta wait. N1NJ, that's the tail number. Every aircraft and every boat has to have a number. It's like a license plate on a car. It identifies that particular helicopter. There's no bathroom in there. Nope. You have to wait. If you have to go, you gotta wait. That's like the biggest concern. Yeah. Can I buy the helicopter? I don't have enough money to buy the helicopter, do you? You know how much it costs? Take a guess. How much do you think a helicopter like that should cost? $100? How much? $300? A whole pound. What do you think? Okay. We got those 4 years ago. The ones we were using before that were 20 years old. They had to go. They're $12 million. Look at all these. $12 million. How did you become a pilot? So how do you become a pilot? If you want to become a pilot, you can talk to our guys, but really you go to an airport and you start taking flying lessons and you get your pilot's license to fly those small planes. And then after that, you have to go to helicopter school because it's a little different flying a helicopter than an airplane. So you have to go to school just like anything else. You go to flight school and you learn how to fly. What do you do in helicopter school? I never went to helicopter school. I don't know how to fly that, so I would imagine they learn everything about the helicopter and a lot of science. So you could ask them what they learned, though. No, we can't go to outer space.
So this has really been really exciting. And I have to tell you, this is the first time I ever saw a helicopter up close. I never saw a helicopter land near me, and I never saw inside a helicopter before. Raise your hand if this is a first time for you too. How exciting is that? What should we say to our friends who came here and did this for us? And you're the first class at Eldridge Park that ever had a helicopter come to school. How exciting is that? How about a big thank you to Logan's dad for planning this today? And now, if everybody can stand really still behind the cones, this is the next exciting part. We're going to get to see it take off. Thank you so much for coming and answering all of our questions. We really appreciate it. And thank you for giving us our banner. Thank you.
Here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 11, 1. today is the day everything is possible.